As the Year of the Tiger approaches, there are celebrations across Asia for the Chinese New Year. Chinese Indonesians have visited temples to perform prayers for their ancestors. Annual ritual offerings, known locally as Imlek, show they have not forgotten their roots and as a mark of respect for their forebears. In Cambodia, an entire street filled with stores selling roasted pigs. One pig can sell for $400. Well, this delicacy is a traditional festive favorite. And what's Chinese New Year without the drums and cymbals of a lion dance? A Cambodian troupe rehearses for their only performance this year, curtailed due to the pandemic. In the Philippines, all large-scale lion and dragon dances are also cancelled due to the coronavirus, but there is still demand from craftsmen for the festive lion heads. Bangkok's Chinatown is decorated with lanterns, with its market selling all sorts of festive goodies. And people in Taipei City flocked to a major flower market for last-minute purchases to ensure they get the freshest cuts to usher in the new year. The biggest celebrations, of course, are in China, with parades and performances in cities throughout the country. And a shout-out for happiness from outer space. The Chinese astronauts mark their first New Year hundreds of kilometers away from Earth, decorating the Tiangong space station with traditional couplets and lanterns.
Well, celebrations here in Singapore may be slightly muted this year with COVID-19 restrictions in place, but there's at least one part of the city that's bustling with activity. Heidi Ng joins us live now from Chinatown. Heidi, how are crowds marking the start of the festivities?
Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty crowded here and everyone's excited to usher in the Year of the Tiger. It is a little bit of an early Chinese New Year this year. You know, we've only had a month where we just celebrated Christmas and the New Year. So standing here, taking in the lights, the sounds, it really gets you in the mood to celebrate Chinese New Year. And, you know, I've been here for the past 3 hours plus, and I've seen a steady stream of people coming to Chinatown to make their last-minute purchases of Chinese New Year goodies, as well as decoration. And some even told me that they were just taking a stroll around Chinatown after their reunion dinners. And, you know, stall owners did tell me that the stalls around here in Temple Street, Terengganu Street, as well as Sego Street, these will all be open until the wee hours of the night. And that's really why it's really pulling the crowds tonight. Stall owners also did tell me that business has picked up in the past 2 months, and that's really thanks to the VTLs that we have and a steady stream of local tourists. But they say they've still been badly hit by the pandemic.
This year is very, very less, not so much. Since the COVID, the business are down, at least about 85%.
我们从心里的感谢本地的这些顾客来支持了牛车水，希望在未来的这一年，你们继续来支持牛车水，真的过得不像以往的那么容易，很艰难。
So you see the crowds today, it's still, you know, rather crowded, but it's really a drop in the ocean compared to pre-pandemic times 2 years ago and even before that. And stall owners tell me that the crowd this year is actually about half of last year's. And that might be because of the tighter COVID restrictions that are in place right now. If you recall, the restrictions on group sizes was 8 last year. It's 5 now, and it's been 5 for a while. So that might be the reason we're seeing a slightly smaller crowd than the stall owners were perhaps expecting. But people who are out and about today, they tell me they're a little bit more relaxed, and that's because they've taken some safety precautions on their end.
We just had reunion dinner, so we're just here to take a look at the lights and everything. Yeah, we have all the safe management measures in place, and we've been vaccinated, so we wanted to give it a shot.
Heidi, there's a steady stream of visitors there tonight, you know, the pandemic notwithstanding. What COVID-19 measures are in place, though? And are the public following these rules?
Yeah, so as you can see around me, I'm standing in a quite an empty area, but that's because there are a lot of safe distancing ambassadors around helping me to keep the crowd flowing around me. And this street where I'm standing at, Temple Street, it's traditionally, you know, cars and vehicles go through this area, but it's been closed off to vehicles, and that's really to allow the public to walk through this area, to really space them out, because if you can see behind me, it's a little bit of a bottleneck in that lane there where it's a little bit squeezy. I did walk through some of these lanes earlier and we kind of had to waddle our way through. It did take quite a while of time to just walk 10 meters because of the crowd situation. But, you know, the safe distancing ambassadors and enforcement officers, they're doing their best. And they've also really stepped up their presence here in the past few weeks. There have also been extra security guards that's been deployed by the Chinatown Business Association. So we've seen all of them walking around trying to manage the crowd here. I did also see some SBS transit officers standing at the exit of the MRT station, you know, really trying to guide the crowd and ensure that everything goes very smoothly. And, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I was over here. It was crowded, but not this crowded. I did speak to some people and stall owners to find out what they think about the extra enforcement presence here. And they said they welcomed it because it makes them feel safer. So a crowded but a pretty orderly Chinese New Year celebration tonight.
All right, Heidi, thank you very much for that update. Heidi Ng there reporting live from Chinatown here in Singapore.